Hari Om. Welcome to Moonday Monday again. My name is Amberly. I am your yoga teacher at Aurally Yoga, and we are working on the last chakra of the 7 main chakras that run along our spine. Today is Sahashrara, so we are working with the crown chakra today, going from the microcosm to the macrocosm, really inviting in wholeness and oneness with Source. So we can do this throughout our days. We can do this throughout our practices. It doesn't necessarily have to be centered and focused and themed around one chakra necessarily. We're always in every stage of our development with this crown chakra. So it doesn't really matter what stage of our life, we're always developing that connection with oneness, with Source, with the source of creation. So let's get started. You're not really going to need much other than your mat today. I didn't even grab my blanket yet to set my body down on. So I'm just going to use my bolster today. And what you're going to want to do is just come into an easy seat. And we'll discuss a little bit about today's theme, and we will go into a little bit about what this practice represents for us and different ways, different methods, different modes that we can call forth the energetics and put our pranadharana into that space, which is our crown chakra. Okay? So go ahead and settle in. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Bring your hands to your knees or your thighs and just feel the space beneath you. Take a nice deep inhalation through your nose. Feel it expand across your chest and into your belly. And let that all go. Again, inhale through the nose. And let it all go. Another one just like that. Inhale deep. Let it all go. Maybe just drop in for a moment. Feel into the space beneath you by placing your fingers down at your sides. Maybe you lower your gaze, close your eyes, and just really feel rooted into and supported by the space beneath you here. Invite in a feeling of centeredness, a feeling of groundedness, a feeling of being here right now. Again, allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. And just feel into this moment here. So before we do our invocation, you can place your hands with your palms facing up. Open your eyes. Good morning. I'm glad you're here with me. So again, we are finishing our series of the subtle energetics of the 7 main chakras. So we're working with Sahashrara. Sahashrara is our crown chakra. That's the last of the 7. And it really emanates this idea of wholeness, of oneness, of extrapolating what we are as this microcosmic universe and expanding that out into the awareness of the whole, awareness of the macrocosm and how we are all connected to that. Okay, so within this practice, through the dynamic meditation of a yogasana practice, we set a sankalpa, we set our meditation intention, right? So as we are moving through each asana, each posture, with each breath, inhaling and exhaling into the expansion and contraction, we are keeping mindful of our sankalpa, of our intention. And in that way, then we're actually exercising all 8 limbs of yoga, being the yama limb, the niyama limb, the asana limb, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Those samyama, the last 3 of the 8-limbed path of yoga, it's a becomingness. It is a state of beingness. So we don't practice meditation. We practice concentration, and we practice more pratyahara, which is sense withdrawal. And so the idea is that we have 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, that bring about a sensory awareness within our minds. And that tethers us down to the kleshas. It tethers us down to the obstacles in life. Number 1, ignorance. Number 2 is when we identify with ego, we are in a place of ignorance, right? And so ego is identifying with the 5 senses. So when we take ourselves out of when we withdraw from the senses in pratyahara, we are moving through the dynamics of the asana, the 3rd limb, and through the dynamics of pranayama, the 4th limb. And by doing that, that propels us into pratyahara, which is that sense withdrawal, or just coming to one focus, right? And so our focus is the movement and the sankalpa. Okay? So with that said, here are our words for today. This is our theme for today. We are inviting in the universe that is us, and we are extrapolating and emanating that out to the multiverse, knowing that we are one with that, okay? Beyond that, we have this idea of connection. We are all connected in that way. And so the asanas that we're going to be working with to really activate and balance that chakra are, well, you could do handstands. We're not going to be doing handstands in this practice, just so you know. But we will be working with headstands, and it will be a modified headstand, so keep that in mind. We can also do Pincha Mayurasana, which is like a forearm stand, and a shoulder stand and fish pose. So those are like the ideal poses that you would want to use when activating at your crown chakra. But more than the asanas, I want to emphasize this because I think that this is a really important aspect of the spirituality of yoga, is that the asana limb is the 3rd limb of yoga, right? There are 2 limbs that precede that limb, the niyama and yama limb, and those are like the 10 virtues that we are showing up for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies through. So in that way, then, we can sit and journal first and foremost, and I wanted to bring that up today because this really allows you to set the stage for receiving the download from the ear behind the ear of how it is that you're needing to show up to express your highest good. And so this is a subtle way, another subtle way of being able to activate that crown chakra, of being one with the macrocosm. Because what we're wanting to do is really get into a space where we are open and receptive to the grace that is all around us, that is working in, through, and all around us. Okay, and so I've talked about this before in different classes, in different videos. If you go onto my Instagram page, earth_mother_lover, I have a lot of other free videos on meditations and other practices there. But basically I talk about how you can do pies journaling. And with your pies journaling, the idea of a pies journal, this is very psychologically based. So a pies journal would be where you separate in like a quadrant of 4. So you just write across on your paper, and then you put at the top of each quadrant the different body, the subtle body that you're working with, and how you can show up for that body. And so in that way, your physical, your intellectual or mental bodies, your emotional and spiritual bodies are all there as tools, as a vehicle, as a conduit, as an instrument that you get to work through and show up for your highest consciousness, right? And so in that way, we're already then activating that crown chakra just by doing this and without the actual subtle movements of the asana practice. Okay, so that is one way that you can already open up your crown chakra. Okay, the other things to do, obviously, is moving and creating space. So what I am inviting us to do today is just go with the theme of not the week last week, but the week before that, because last week we did a moon cycle practice, but really with the Agya practice of opening up to intuition, we're going to work with that still, because that is very connected with our crown chakra. It's all ascending and moving upward. And so as we work from root to our sacral, to our solar, to our heart, to our throat, to the third eye, to the crown, it's all moving up and out. So that's why I wasn't doing the practice last week, because a moon cycle needs the apanavayu, or the downward flow of energy. So now we're working with upward flows of energy. So we are going to do a practice that is more of a Brahmana practice, an activating practice today. All right, and we will be working with some more challenging poses as we go into our shoulder stand and our headstand, and we'll work from there, okay? All right, let's get started. So just find yourself again, rooted and centered and grounded at the space beneath you. Take that inhalation deep into your lungs and let it out through the nose. 2 more just like that. Inhale deep. Let it out through the nose. One more, and bring your hands up on the same inhalation. Bring your palms together and exhale your hands down to your heart center. Drop your head, lower your gaze. And we begin with an invocation. We inhale and exhale into the sound Om. Again. One more time. We begin with our invocation. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Niralambam Samashritya Salambam Vijahatiya Sasamyasi Cha Yogi Cha Kaivalya bow to your heart, and to this supreme soul within. You can create some friction between your hands. And get that intention saturated onto your face. Place your hands on your face. And again, give yourself a nice massage over your face. And one more time, take your fingertips and peel them away from your eyelids and allow your eyelids to open to a new awareness, to a new nowness. And here we are. So come on to your knees and come into child's pose. Spread your knees almost as wide as your mat and keep your toes together, your big toes. Bring your hands out in front of you, create a triangle right over your head, and come down into your child's pose, Balasana. Just breathe into Earth Mother. And remember our intention, our sankalpa, that we are producing, creating in co-creation, of bringing the microcosm of ourselves and bridging that with the macrocosm out in the multiverse, creating the awareness of oneness. Remembering that we are never, ever alone, creating space for openness, for love, acceptance, and receiving all that which needs to be known right now. All that which helps us become our highest selves in the present now. Inhale, come up to all fours. And as I've said before in different classes, you're going to have your knees as wide as the elbow to the wrist. Bring your elbows to your knees and go one hand's distance to bring yourself into a good table here. All right, inhale, chin comes up. Exhale, chin comes down, spine goes up. Creating a supple spine here. This is like a kriya. We're burning away any impurities. Moving the spine, malleating the movement of the chakra. Allowing for space to open up so that we can activate our crown. Go at the rhythm of your breath. Your inhale drives your chin up, spine down. Your exhale drives your chin down, spine up. Continue at your pace, whatever feels good to your body right now. Remember, we're always meeting ourselves where we are at today on the mat. Not comparing, not contrasting. Just here now. If your body's calling for some more movements, some more abstract movements, maybe just winding around and creating circles with your body, whatever feels good to you. Remember, when the spine goes up, it's an exhale. When the spine goes down, it's an inhale. Meet me back in the center of your tabletop and come back onto your heels. This might feel a little uncomfortable. If it does, you can always grab your bolster or block and bring it in between your heels here. But just coming into this awareness, come up onto your knees and reach back, lean back, feel your heels of your feet. And just inhale and open up your heart to the awareness of spirit above. And slowly, with an activated belly, come back and sit down onto your heels. Good. Inhale, bring your hands down to the mat, and exhale, push yourself into your first down dog of the day, and you can pedal it out. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale, straighten one of your legs. So you inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten one of your legs. Keeping the other knee bent. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, and straighten the other leg. Keeping the other knee bent. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, and bring both feet back, straightening the legs and bringing the tailbone as up high to the sky as you can. So you're like reaching up, so you'll feel that in your calves. Inhale, look up towards your thumbs, and exhale, walk your hands towards walk your feet towards your hands, and come into your half forward fold. Inhale and exhale into a total forward fold here. You can bend your knees if you need to, and then work yourself out. If this is your first of the day, sometimes that's recommended. And you come all the way up with an inhale. Hands come up over your head. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, bring your right foot back and drop that right knee. Inhale, thrust forward, hands come up, low lunge. Exhale, come down with your hands to meet your left foot. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Chaturanga down, nose, chin, chest. Roll the shoulders up. Come into your cobra. Exhale, come back to your down dog. And breathe 3 good breaths here. Remembering to lift your tailbone up as high as you can to the sky. And allow your ears to be nice and loose here on either sides of your shoulders. And on your next inhalation, look up towards your thumbs. And again, bring your right foot up into a 3-leg dog. Exhale and bring it up towards your hands. Drop that left knee. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Low lunge. Exhale, hands come down on either side of your right foot. You step forward to meet your right foot with your left. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center, Samastiti. Drop your hands down to either side of you and come into a mountain pose here. Lift and spread your toes wide. Allow your feet to be hips width distance and feel your feet from your inner base of your big toe and draw that awareness to the inner portion of your heel. Feel strong and feel steady and stable there. Now bring the awareness to the outer portion of the base of your pinky toes, and then bring the awareness to the outer portion of your heels, and feel that strength and stability within your feet here. Inhale and allow the back body to expand out with your inhalation. Exhale and twist and wrap the muscle energy around your legs, around your thighs, and bring it up into your core pelvis here. You should feel the energy coming from your periphery, which is your toes that we just activated, all the way up your legs into your core. You feel that? Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping that strength and that awareness of the way that your body was. Inhale, halfway look up. And again, step your right foot back. Pivot so that your toe is pointed towards the right side of the front of your mat. Your 2 feet are on 2 different train tracks here. Right? Bend that left knee, hands come up overhead into warrior 1. And remember here that you are open to grace. You are open to intuition. You are open to whatever it is that needs to be received right now for you to be at your highest good. Exhale and bring your hands behind you. Clasp your fingers together and allow your pointer fingers to come together and your thumbs to come together straight. Inhale and give yourself a little bit of a back bend here. Look up with a strong neck, up at the ceiling. And breathe strong. Inhale, pivot your body forward, keeping the strength in both and even between your feet and your knee. Come into your humble warrior here. So your torso is right on the right side of your left knee. Hands are above you. You're in reverse warrior, humble warrior. Remember to breathe and allow your breath to be even between your inhalations and your exhalations. Inhale, come up out of that. Exhale, pivot that back foot so that it's parallel with the short side of your mat and bend into your warrior 2. Feel the strength, feel the stability, and bring in that awareness from your toes when they were lifted and spread before. Bring it all the way up your legs and into your core. Hands are parallel with the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand comes up overhead. Bring your gaze up to the hand above you. And exhale back to your warrior 2. Inhale, bring yourself into a side angle stretch. Your hand can be either on your knee and you can come deeper into the pose, or it can be off the knee and maybe it comes up with the other hand. However, your body is wanting you to be in your practice today. Maybe your gaze comes up to the hand above you. Always coming back to creating space. Inhale, come back to your warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. And exhale, pivot the body into your Trikonasana triangle. Feel the strength and the evenness of weight distributed between both legs here. And make sure that your shoulders are stacked right over one another. Inhale, bend the left knee and draw the right hand over the top side of your body. Come into an extended side angle. Exhale and cartwheel yourself down, pivot that right foot, bring the left foot back, chaturanga. Nose, chin, chest hits the mat, roll the shoulders back, come into your cobra or up dog, and then you exhale into your down dog. Give yourself 5 good breaths here. Feel the evenness between both hands and both feet. And continue trying to draw the awareness of your tailbone up towards the sky. Create that space within your hips. Create a conscious connection between you, the microcosm, and that which is the all, the macrocosm. Constantly moving into that space of awareness through your asana practice. Inhale, right foot comes up. Exhale, right foot comes forward. Pivot that left foot so that the toe is facing the corner of the front of your mat. Inhale, come up. Your feet are, you can bring your right foot a little bit more towards your left foot. You want about like 3 feet distance. And then you don't want them, when you're in Warrior 2 or Warrior 1, to be on the same track. So you wouldn't want your feet to be together like this. You want them to be on 2 different tracks. Inhale, bend the right knee, and bring your hands up overhead. Again, Warrior 1, knowing that you have the power to bring yourself to your highest good. Every time you get on your mat, you have that power. Every time you commit yourself to just getting on the mat, you know that you have that power of free will, of volition, of a choice. How do I want to show up? Exhale, bring your hands behind you. And again, clasp those fingers together, except for the index and the thumb. They come together straight. Bending that right knee. Come back and look up towards the sky. Strong neck, stable core, and breathe. Exhale and slowly come into your humble warrior, leaning your torso ever so slightly towards your bent knee. Now your torso is on the left portion of your right knee. Strong core, hands are up above you, behind you. Drop the forehead towards the earth. Stay strong in your humble warrior. Knowing that the earth has you and you are stable, you are grounded, you are supported. Inhale, slowly come back up. Strengthen your right knee. Pivot that left foot so that it's parallel with the short side of your mat. Exhale and come into your warrior 2. Go ahead and just breathe here a couple of breaths. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, back into your warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back to your warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Pivot yourself forward. Exhale down into Trikonasana. Again, evenness of the weight distributed between both legs. And make sure your shoulders are stacked over one another. Your gaze is up towards the hand above you, and your breath is stable. Allow your inhalations to match the length of your exhalations. Inhale, bend that right knee, hand comes up overhead again. And extend that right or that left side body and feel the stretch. Cartwheel your hand down to meet with your right hand and your right foot. Pivot that left leg so that it's straight with the rest. And push your body into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center, Samastiti. Inhale, hands come back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, hop or walk yourself down to a plank. Shoulders roll back. Come into your up dog or your cobra. And exhale down to your child's pose again. And breathe. Notice the way that your physical body is feeling in space and time now. Notice the right side body. Does it feel any different than your left side body? Notice the warmth in your body. Notice the stability of your breath. And notice how your mind is producing thoughts at this moment. Is it more focused on the practice? Or is it still in its monkey mind? Inhale, come up to your tabletop. Exhale and bring your left hand or your right hand underneath you and thread the needle. Give yourself a little spinal twist here. And let all that out. Breathe into the twist. Allow your body to expand with your inhalation and contract down with your exhalation. A couple more of those. Inhale deep. Exhale and push with your left hand your body back up. Inhale. And exhale that left hand underneath you, threading the needle back the other way. And really have that intention of expanding on your inhalation. And then really contracting it down on your exhalation. One more deep one of those. Inhale. Creating the expansion. Exhale. Contracting in. Inhale deep and exhale. Push with your right arm, your body back up to a tabletop. Come onto your back body now. And lower yourself down onto the mat. Bring your knees up and just give them a little hug to your chest. Maybe you clasp your arms around your elbows and you bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe you just have your hands clasped and around your knees. Maybe it's easier for you to have your knees spread out wide than close together for your hips. However the practice looks to you, it is your personal practice and does not ever need to look like anybody else that you are practicing with. Bring your feet up at a 90-degree angle from your body. So your legs and your feet are at a 90-degree angle from the rest of the floor as well as your body. Okay. Can you reach your hands up and like you're going to touch your toes? Just go ahead and do that awareness. I think I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see me better. Camera view. All right. So as we are here, we're going to take a deep inhalation. And exhale that left foot down to the earth. Inhale it back up. And exhale the other foot down to the earth. Inhale. Bring that foot back up to meet the other. Exhale, the left foot goes down. Inhale back up. Allow the breath to propel the movement, and the movement is just as long as your breath. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, both feet come back into a bend. Go ahead and bring your hands to your knees and create circles with your knees so you're feeling an activation at your solar plexus, right on the back part of your solar plexus. You'll feel that right at the sacrum. So you're just creating these big circles with your knees. Inhale, bring them up towards the body. Exhale, bring them away from the body. Knees come in towards the body with your inhale. And they go away with the exhale. Nice strong core here. Inhale, knees come in. Exhale, knees go away. Next time your knees come in, you're going to exhale, knees the opposite way. So now you're going the opposite way with your knees, making big circles. Inhale, knees come in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale. And keep them there, hug them in tight. Keeping the knees bent. Take a deep inhalation. Bring the hands away so your hands are just at your knees now. And exhale, the left foot comes straight. The right knee stays bent. Inhale back to center. And exhale, the right leg goes down straight. Inhale, bring that knee back up. Exhale, the left leg goes down. Right knee stays. Inhale, left knee comes back up. Exhale, right knee goes down. Straighten the leg. On your pace, on your breath, you inhale, the knee comes back up. Exhale, the other leg goes down. Nice, strong, stable, deliberate movements with your breath. Maybe you begin to do a count. Inhale of 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 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 2, 3, 4. Keep your knees together. Hug them in. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe normal. Drop your feet onto the earth. And bring your fingertips to touch the backs of your heels here. We're going to go into a bridge pose. So as your fingertips are touching the back of your knees, that is where you're gauging how far your knees are to your sit bones. As long as your fingertips are touching there, you're good. You don't need to bring them any closer than that. Okay? Now you want to keep a strong, steady, stable core whenever you're coming up into these asanas, and you want to keep your spine protected. So as you do, you're peeling from the lower spine to your upper spine when you come up. And when you go down, you're peeling back down, like from the top to the bottom of your spine, okay? So inhale. Exhale and thrust your hips forward and up. So now you're feeling the back top of your shoulders here. Inhale deep. Exhale and roll the spine from the top to the bottom down. Again, touching the back sides of your heels with your fingertips. Inhale deep. Exhale and thrust the hips forward and up into your bridge. Feeling already that you are coming kind of onto your shoulders on the back body. Inhale deep at the top and exhale, peeling the spine down from the top to the bottom. Do one more just like that. Inhale deep. Exhale, bringing the hips up. Maybe you're able to clasp your two hands together and bring the shoulder blades closer together on the back body and thrust the hips up a little bit more, allowing your heart to be receptive to the space above it. Open completely to grace, open completely to wholeness. Exhale, roll the shoulders out. Drop the hands away from one another and peel the spine back down from top to bottom. Excellent work, everyone. All right, so what you're going to do now, we're going to come into our shoulder stand in a moment. So before we do, how we do this, there's two different ways to do this, and I'm going to have you do it the easy way first, okay? So bring one foot up above you, like this. Your other one is bent. Okay, now you're going to bring the other one up above you like we were doing at the first part of our leg movements. Okay, now use your hands to push your hips up so that now your feet are behind you. Okay, so now your feet are behind you. You're feeling a little bit more of this awareness on your shoulders. And you're feeling the awareness of the weight of your body distributed above you. Okay, so we're going to go into an inversion eventually here. Okay, so now roll yourself a little bit down. Remember, peeling from the top of the spine down. Okay, so these are what we call bus stops to be able to get into our asana. So again, the goal is a shoulder stand. And what we're going to do to get into the shoulder stand, if you are not savvy already on how to get into a shoulder stand, we're using little bus stops. So the first one is to bring our legs overhead. Once they are, we're going to use our hands to hold our hips up. So at first we were down like this. That was second. Now we're pushing the legs up and we're using our hands to keep the back stable and straight and up, right? So now we are in our, like a shoulder stand, right? So you can stay here and keep your hands at the base of your back, or you can bring your hands down. That's a little bit more advanced. You can bring your hips a little bit more forward, or you can really try and strengthen into the shoulder stand by bringing your feet as tall and straight as you can from your body. So if this is uncomfortable, having your hands down, or you haven't even tried it, it's totally cool to keep them here too. All right, so however you need to adjust to feel comfortable in this, the idea is that you are even and symmetrical on either one of your shoulders. You are not turning your head, but you're keeping the back side of your head on the mat. And then you're pushing your body into a straight asana inversion of a shoulder stand. And activating your crown chakra. When you're ready, bend your knees towards your forehead. Bring your hands down to your back and roll yourself back down. Legs come up overhead and then they drop down with your feet touching the earth again. And come into a constructive rest. Just feel and notice. Notice how it felt to be in a different type of a gravity situation. Notice how it felt to change and shift your weight. Usually we have our lower torso beneath us, not above us. How did that feel? When you're ready, we'll try it again. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier now that your body and your muscle memory is primed for that activity. So again, legs come up overhead, inhale. Exhale, you can either push yourself into your shoulder stand or use your hands on your back body. Remember the different steps. So you have inhale, bring your legs overhead. Push with your hands, your body backwards. And then when you're ready, you can bring your legs up overhead. And if you feel comfortable, you can drop your hands. Otherwise, you're just coming straight into your shoulder stand. And breathe with that awareness of the crown chakra activation, of wholeness, of openness, and creating space with the macrocosm as you, the emanates of microcosm. Exhale and bring yourself back down to constructive rest. And just be here in this moment. Roll yourself onto one side and push your body up. We'll try one more of these inversion asanas. That's a headstand. Now you're welcome to go into a full headstand, but I do not recommend that. What I'll do instead of a Pinchamayurasana, which is like a forearm stand, I usually do the full-on headstand. So what I do to get into this asana is a couple of different bus stops, okay? So you're on your knees, and then you're going to bring your hands on either side like you're going to come into a tabletop, but a little bit wider. Now drop your head. You can also bring a blanket if it's more comfortable for you to be on the mat. Let me show you. So you can use your folded blanket. This can be a little hard on the head. So you can bring your head down. Okay, once you bring your head down, always remember that you are staying strong in your neck. You're not like going, you're not doing that. But you know that just like when I first cued us to go into our camel pose, right? When we come back and we're like this, when we come up, we're not just leaning back with our neck. Never, ever, ever do that because that's very dangerous. So you would want to then have the neck strong and elongated, you see, strong and elongated. So that means that you're aware of the strength and the positioning of your neck at all times, right? So the same thing applies, which is why I cued that to begin with, kind of a bus stop, a priming, to get into your headstand. All right, so when you, like I said, you're going to bring your hands on either side of you.
and drop the top of your head down. You can use the blanket or you don't have to use the blanket. So this is bus stop number 1, just feeling the top of the head on the mat, okay? Now once you're there, curl your toes under and push yourself like you were coming into a puppy or into a down dog, okay? Now bring your feet a little bit closer to your body. Here's bus stop number 2. So where are your hips in association with your body? Watch me before you try it. Now what you're doing with your hands here is you're bringing them on either side of your ears and your shoulders, from your forearms to the other part of your upper arm to your shoulders are at a 90-degree angle from one another, okay? Now what you do is, like you're going to come into a crow, you push your upper torso and your lower torso up ever so slowly. Here's bus stop number 3. When you're ready and you feel stable, you can push your legs up overhead. And you can come into your headstand. Breathe. And use your arms to stabilize the position. Breathe. And keep your inhalations even with your exhalations. When you're ready, you just drop your feet. Bring your knees back down to the earth. Roll the forehead forward like you're coming into a child's pose. And come into your child's pose. Again, we're going to come onto the mat, onto our back body, and finish our asana practice with Shavasana. Lower yourself down. Allow your palms to be upright, and allow your ankles to roll out on either side of you. Feel your body in space and time now. Notice the way that the physical body feels. Notice the mental body and the way that it's producing its thoughts now. Remembering your connection, your emotional connection to your sankalpa today, of oneness, wholeness, microcosm to macrocosm, creating that space of awareness in which everything is arising. Allow your back body to completely melt into the space beneath you. Feel the back of your head, back of your shoulders, your upper back, middle and lower back. Feel your hips, your glutes, and your tailbone. Feel the back sides of your legs, all the way down your legs to your ankles. And feel your feet heavy here. Continue breathing into the space beneath you. Breathe into
into the space. Feel into that conscious connection with all that is, all that is not, and all that ever will be. Tattvam Asi. You are that too. Begin to come back to your physical body by inviting a breath in. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Rock your head from side to side. Roll yourself onto the side that is calling to you now. Begin to support your body back up to an easy seat. Welcome back, my friends. It's good to be alive, even in all the paradoxes. Welcoming in holistic wholeness with mind, body, spirit, with your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. You are inviting the macrocosm into this microcosm. Every time you set your pranadharana, your mind to the energy, your energy to the mind, where it is that you want it to go, it will go there. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. So that's really the teaching. How can I show up? And how can I create the space to be aware of being aware? I'll close this out with a benediction. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma mritangamaya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you for joining me. I do hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday and a great week until I see you next time. A couple of announcements. Aurally Yoga is taking her practice. I'm taking my practice to in person, so Tuesdays and Thursdays locally here in the Temecula Valley area, Southern California, I will be offering classes. So if you are in the area and you're interested, you can go to my website, www.soulandsunapothecary.com, and down at the bottom there are events, and you can register for them there. Once you register, then it will send you the address on where that location is. So I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, if you want to do any private yoga sessions, I offer those all around the world, and we can do them online. So that is where I customize a yoga plan for you, and it's more than just the asana. It's a whole lot more than that. And so always, consider taking advantage of a private lesson or a private session where we're working one-on-one and I'm helping coach you into a place of wholeness for yourself. All right, that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions. My heart is always with you. Hari Om.